What's up, my precious little pack, and welcome back to VEGA Conflict. So, the reckoning is coming to a close, so it's the time for me to put out the list of what I recommend for prizes and stuff like that. Before I do, I'd just like to say, I hope that you got enough intel for whatever you do need and want, but I'm going to kick it right off by going right into the list. Right off the bat, I have to recommend the Pegasus, because we've all seen what it can do by now. And that will be 2 million intel that you're going to need. Next up, actually, I have to do this. If you're going to get the Pegasus, which most of you will try to, and most of you will most likely get, go for the I'm not even going to try and pronounce this right now, because my tongue is all kinds of twisted, but you're going to need 2,600,000 between the two, and this boosts the range of any missile and torpedo class explosives that you equip it with, so in turn the Redeemer missile and stuff like that. Next up is each of the reactors, and fit them as you see needed, as whichever one you see fit to use more often. So do you think speed would be more useful for how you play? Do you think the increased ship damage? Do you think the increased base damage? Just set it up like that, but I recommend in this order: the Pegasus, the Pyrean Fuel, the Harmonic Agility Reactor, the Harmonic Warfare Reactor, then the Harmonic Siege Reactor, then pick up the Redeemer Missile. The weapon, it'll most likely be back, but as for the reactors, I have no idea. So they should actually take higher priority than the ship itself, because we know the ship hulls have come back quite often. So even start off with this: go Pyrean Fuel, Harmonics, each reactor in order from the Agility to the Warfare, then Siege, then pick up the Pegasus, then the Redeemer Missile 1. I say level 1 because, again, lower level just to have the faster fit time. You'll have lower damage, but it'll be built faster. I just try and produce ships quickly regardless of their power level. And you can mix in a little bit of alien class weaponry in there, because I keep my builds to around 10 days. Next up, I recommend buying the Gladiator battleship, because it is the first battleship in the Marauder class, which means that it'll be able to fit the Marauder class weapons, which is currently the current entertaining thing to do, long-range high-damage projectile weapons or alien class drivers. So it would go hand in hand when the Marauder class destroyer gets introduced with its driver class weapon just for the battleship. So pick it up while you can. You can also get a free hull in here. There's no weapons currently available with it, so you'll have to use stuff you've already bought and already have. Next up, the Ravager cutter. I can't think of a single use for the cutter, nor its bombardment torpedo other than on the battle cruiser or the battleship. We don't have battle cruisers in this game. Next up, for any of you PvP players that know of most of the updates and stuff, pick up the Berserker Cruiser along with the Void Pulse Cannon 4s, because as it stands they now have the range boost and stuff like that. So now you can upgrade the range by equipping it, so that's something I can look forward to. Next up, for anyone who has a fitting similar to what I have frigate-wise, Liberator Destroyer upgrades, specifically to go down the path of high damage long range and high shield bypass. But I'm going to end it up with attacking one of the 80s, which is what I've been doing this entire time.
Exiting orbit.
But it shouldn't take too long.
That's affirmative.
gotta be one in my general area.
Orders received.
Oh yes, and starting tomorrow is the ship token riot, kicking off with the daily things. And this one I could recommend going with the builds because everyone's usually building something. I don't refit most of the time, usually building something brand new. But I think I'll pick up the refit just because my ship factory will be done tomorrow. I'll actually be able to use the refits on a few of my older ships that need to be fitted again, or some of my cruisers that I need to refit. And the Planet Strike, and there's a free hole for you lower levels, the Apocrypha cruiser. And I haven't used it, but similar to Revelation in most regards, so I can recommend it. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. I don't know if anyone else noticed already or not, but as it stands right now, I don't know if it's a glitch or a visual bug, but cruisers get increased speed with mark upgrades now. It goes 5% per level, up to a 20% bonus at max. I didn't see any notes on it or anything like that, but I noticed it when I was going through here because I was crafting stuff up, and one of the cruisers said 5% bonus for level 2. I thought that was a little bit strange, not low enough, but it goes across all cruiser classes. They all get that movement speed buff, with the exception of the Berserker cruiser. It does not. Even the Guardian cruiser, it gets speed upgrade and everything like that.
Open fire.
But that was the only other thing I wanted to point out. The other great way of making points in the event is, again, triggering base defense. If you have a strong enough base defense and can handle the aliens, that's another good way of making XP, as long as the base, as I said, is strong enough. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up kind of now. If you like the video, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps.
Copy that. Cruiser, copy that. Cruiser, en route. Carrier, course laid in. Carrier.
And as always, the views are just as important.
Carrier. Carrier.
And I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of the combat and how I fight.